All right, hey everybody, welcome back to the eBay shop. My name's Cory.
I'm Teresa.
And we are Grams and Pops Vintage, and today we're going to talk about all kinds of things again. We came that close from hitting our 90-day eBay goal. So, everybody give Teresa a hand. You gave yourself a hand.
Whatever.
It was the 4th of July weekend, so it was crazy busy this weekend. We had some friends come into town from Tennessee, so we spent a lot of time with them.
We did.
We did our normal 4th of July stuff.
We did.
And we sourced in ways we don't usually source.
We don't source anymore.
So it was a very busy 4th of July weekend. So we're going to talk about all that kind of stuff. Plus, we'll let you know how the new store launch is going. It kind of exceeded our expectations. We'll talk about that a little bit here shortly.
But before we get into things, I got to do this plug in the beginning because not everybody watches to the end.
Okay,
you should watch to the end. But July 11th and 12th, we are having Christmas in July on thedollarauction.com. TheDollarAuction.com.
Nice, you spelled it.
Just in case. And it has to have the in front of it. Starting at 2 o'clock, running all the way until, I think, 9 o'clock. I haven't looked at the show. We've been busy all weekend, so I have not looked at the show lineup for it.
There are some spots still available.
Yep.
I think one person backed out, so there is that spot available. I think there's 2 or 3 spots available yet. So if you'd like to do the Christmas in July type sale on the dollar auction, there are some spots there.
We don't even know what we're listing, so that'll happen tomorrow.
Yeah, this week we're gonna have to double down and get our listings figured out.
Might happen Tuesday and Wednesday, so we'll do them together on Tuesday and then Wednesday while you're editing or whatever.
We're just gonna sort our eBay store by Christmas and start grabbing stuff. Like we have so much Christmas stuff listed, so we're just gonna grab stuff right off the eBay store, and that's what we'll be running for 2 days. Mm-hmm. All right. So what actually sold on our eBay store?
It was so you guys. I just have to say this. Getting some of the sales that we got this weekend was freaking amazing. Like, you see those numbers come through. You see the $15, $20 items come through. But when you pick something up and you're like, yep, I'm going to list it for this, and it sells for super close to that price, and it's a high dollar item, it's like a dopamine hit.
So you're saying the high ticket stuff is the right move?
It does, but I still like seeing the lower, like the stuff that I enjoy listing, I like seeing sell. But when you see we had some like super good sales this weekend.
Slowly but surely converting her.
No, because I still don't think it can always be all. I will never let it be all high ticket items.
But that's where your money comes from. So
the first thing that sold is my heart. I sold my heart.
Sold her heart
to the devil.
It's a broken heart.
It is. So
but it's a heart.
It's I think I'm saying this right. Denoyer-Geppert Heart of America with bypass atomical teaching heart model.
So it looks like it's missing this piece over here, but it all kind of opens up and comes apart and stuff. It's cool. When we saw it at a garage sale, we were like, we should probably get that.
And we only paid $8 for it. Like $8.
Is the one piece missing where you plug in all the little hoses?
No, there's little, like if you look, there's little holes. I just didn't want to try and shove them in there and break them. So I left that for them. So they do make 2 models of this heart. They make a regular heart for teaching, and then they make this one, which is for bypass, to show all, if they were to do the bypass, how they do the veins, whatever. But this one, like I said, we paid $8 for it, and it sold for $149.99, even though it's missing a heart door.
Yep. So if you see body parts at a garage sale, sometimes there is a market for that.
Teaching models, a lot of them do pretty good from what I see. Okay, the next item was part of a big buy. I think we paid $235, $234.
Yeah.
At the wholesale, we bought a Husqvarna, I think, serger machine, an Oculus, this, and a couple cameras.
And this is a looking glass portrait. It's like a 3D thing. It's new. It's sealed in the box, so I can't take it out.
It's not sealed.
Isn't it?
It's open.
Oh, it's open box.
It's sealed in itself
inside,
in its plastic stuff. But it is a looking glass portrait 3D holographic display. It is new open box. I don't think it's ever been used because the thing that they use for it is still wrapped in the plastic that it comes in. But there's 2 bonuses to this one. One bonus is sold for $400. I took an offer. It was listed at $475. But I took an offer for $400. Do you know what the second bonus is?
What's the second bonus?
It's going international.
Oh, yeah, it's going to Mexico.
It's going to Mexico. So, shouldn't have any issues with that.
I think for that we paid like $50.
$50. So 50 into 400?
Yeah, we'll do that.
All day long. Yep. All day long. So.
All right, so the new store update. We told you last week we started a new small niche store. And we did. It's actually been live for 7 days as of today, I think. So.
Sure, I don't know when you started it.
We're a week in. Mm-hmm. And it's actually done pretty good. Over this last week, I've listed 120 items on the store. 16 of them have sold, and we have a $261 90-day average now.
So the funny thing about the secondary store it cracks me up. So our primary eBay store is under Cory's email. I have it logged in because I primarily work on that one. So I get the cha-chings on mine.
Yep.
Cory's logged into the secondary store.
Under her email.
Under my email, because it's my old account, which already had reviews, so we took advantage of it.
It had like 10 reviews on it. The store itself is like 11 years old. Well, I take that back. The account is 11 years old. There is no store.
It's 11 years old?
It is. We haven't updated it to an actual store.
No, it's currently just a private
When I hit the 250 listings, we'll probably update it. So maybe sometime next week.
So I get the cha-chings for our primary store, but it goes to Cory's email.
Yep.
Cory gets the cha-chings for the secondary store, but I get the email. Yep.
So we're both well informed.
We are well informed, but it's funny. So, but yeah, so he'll be over there listing, and I know when he's listing because I get this has been listed.
Gets the
this
listing
has been
emails.
listed. And then when I'm over here listing, like I was this morning I tried to get it done before we started today, which I've been trying to do that a lot lately.
What?
Like trying to get my listings done in the early AM,
yep,
so I'm not up late.
Because I was trying to watch YouTube and be super productive, and I kept getting cha-ching, cha-ching.
No,
on
you
my
didn't
watch.
get cha-ching, cha-ching. You got the notification.
The notification on my watch.
We did get cha-ching, cha-chings this morning because we did sell some stuff, like 4 or 5 items, like bam, bam, bam. But
what I'm saying is she was very annoying this morning while I was being unproductive.
Well, you're very annoying when I'm being productive.
That's not true. That's never true.
But yeah, so I'm super proud of him. He is sticking to it.
What are your thoughts on that new niche?
I don't.
Just being a niche store. One thing that surprised me so far is that almost exactly half of our orders have been multi-quantity orders, which is awesome.
And we just started a week ago, and we have 2 reviews already.
Yay.
Out of 16 orders, we have 2 reviews. That's a 1/8.
I don't see it's in
it's
there.
It's 1/8 because 2 into 16.
Sure,
It's
we'll do math.
1/8. Anyways, but yeah, it's like I'm typically not because I am primarily focused on our main store, so I will source for that.
So just to be clear,
he is
still very focused on what makes us money.
But he does cut it, not cut it.
I do carve out time for this.
Yes. So, but lately I have been our reseller friends did an escape room while they were here, and so while they were in there, I was figuring out how to maneuver Facebook Marketplace across different states. So I could see if they had any of these items. I did find one. I did message somebody. They had like 400 of them for $400 plus additional stuff.
One of the things I do like about this is because it's a niche store, and I think it applies to pretty much any niche if you niche down, taking the photographs and descriptions and titles and stuff for this particular item, because they're all the same, is very quick. I'm doing about 20 listings an hour, roughly. And
I don't know. I don't pay attention. You don't drop them all though, so.
I don't usually drop them all at the same time, but I'm creating about 20 listings in an hour, and that includes photographs, descriptions, titles, pricing, everything.
He came out the other day, and he was out here. You came out for something, not to take pictures. You came out for something, and then he came in, and I'm like, what were you doing? He's like, I got 20 photos done again. I'm like, you were only out there for like 10 minutes.
Well, actually, photos for 20 items, so 4 photos per item is what this item.
So 80 pictures in like 10 minutes.
Yeah, it takes like 10 minutes to do 20 items, and it's really, once you do it and you get your process down for that type of item, and it doesn't really matter what it is.
No, if you're niche down, you should be able to get it going pretty quick.
Yeah, it could be anything. If you were just selling handkerchiefs, how you photograph, like if you set up to photograph that particular item, it becomes so fast. And the listings are fast because you're literally copying your last listing, and a lot of the stuff just stays exactly the same, and you go through them super fast. So I'm really liking that about the niche. I'm also liking the fact that people are buying multiple things because that's all you have.
Yep.
So far, I'm really liking the niche down idea. Now, could we live on this store? I don't.
No.
Not now. Not currently.
$216 a week. That might buy groceries.
Well, it would buy lunch.
No, it'll buy more than
I'm pretty hungry.
We're not discussing food right now. Jiminy Christmas.
I think we could scale this store to where it would make one person's full salary.
Sure.
And maybe even expand it beyond that. So I think we could do that. I don't know yet. It's so early. It's a week in. I can't make that prediction yet, but I think we could.
ChatGPT didn't tell you that was a very viable store and that it will continue to
Sometimes ChatGPT will straight up lie. It is. I have learned something about ChatGPT, and in my instance of ChatGPT, I have corrected it. It is very optimistic about things, and I have told it, you need to be a bit more of a Debbie Downer because not everything works. So I have given ChatGPT a little bit of cynicism, and it looks at kind of worst case scenarios for me now. And usually if I like the worst case scenario or I could live with it, That's what I run with. I don't look at it as this could be $1 million. I look at it as if I work hard, could this at least pay my car payment? So that's, I've kind of gotten ChatGPT
it would pay
to
4
be
car payments a month.
4?
Yeah, it would pay 4 car payments a month.
Yeah, at this point it could if I kept going at this pace. So, yay.
Okay. Sorry. You talked too long about your thing. So I'm going to cut you off and we're going to talk about what's sold.
I'm being cut off. Oh, shut up. What sold next?
We sold a car. We sold a USSR. These are super cool. Like, I've already sold the other one, but...
All right, that's enough. What did it sell for?
Shut up.
It's this one.
USSR, it's a CCCP Lada model, whatever, grayish-white die-cast car.
That's what it is.
It is made in the USSR.
Sorry, I'm looking at it. I should show you guys. That's what it looks like.
I got 2 of these on Proxibid. One sold already, and this one sold for full price of $49.99.
All right, we got a lot of the ratchet wrenches. These are Craftsman. We've sold these before.
Craftsman.
If we find a nice... like a nice bundle of these that's a full set, we usually pick them up if we can get them cheap.
Well, I can't complain. So I paid $5 for these. They had a whole bunch of tools out that day. And so I looked at them and I'm like, oh, these ones, I looked up just one wrench and it said like $18. But I had the whole set, so to be optimistic, I paid $5 for it. And they sold for $35. And it didn't, they were only on there for maybe 4 or 5 days.
I wouldn't say that's a banger, but,
no, but
they always seem to sell. And as long as you price them right, they sell decent. If you can pick them up for cheap, they will sell.
So, you got your chance. Now it's my chance. You just talked like a whole lot.
I talked for like 3 minutes.
It was not 3. I watched the timer on the GoPro camera. So.
All right, bore the people.
So what does that mean? So he's working on his store. We have been doubling down on the high ticket items and the stuff like that on our main store.
And we have kind of pulled focus away a little bit by doing these experiments we talked about last week. So Teresa has kind of doubled down on the main store. She's put in more work over there so that we don't.
Well, I kind of did, just not this weekend. But we'll
this
talk
week
about
was
that.
tough, but
so we did get over the winter our 90-day total. I will say it kind of went down, but now we're back.
It didn't kind of go down. It was a Led Zeppelin. Like it went down.
I don't get that reference.
A Zeppelin's just a hot air balloon. If you build it out of lead, it won't float.
Oh, okay, okay.
Really? No. There's a band.
I know the band called Led Zeppelin. It's just their name called Led Zeppelin. Anyway, so as of when we checked yesterday, it changed today because, every day your 90-day total changes. Yep. But yesterday we were $20 away from getting back up to where we were on our 90-day totals prior to this last winter. And
we've shared our numbers before, so like we're pretty transparent about that. We like to try to get our 90-day total because whatever the 90-day total is, we take half of that home, basically, give or take 1%. We take about half of that home as profit. So we like to keep our 90-day total right up in the $40,000 for 90 days mark. And lately it has not been.
No.
So it's been really nice to see it kind of slowly build back up to that.
So what's working? It does work. I mean, if you look at the sales that we had this weekend, granted it's all day Friday. Well, it's part of Thursday, all day Friday, all day Saturday, all day Sunday. I didn't take anything from this morning.
This was a long weekend because of the holiday.
Yep. So, I mean, we had like 4 items for sure that were over $100.
Yep. And even moving to the high ticket sales, not every item is going to be $200, $300, $400.
No.
As hard as you try, I mean, sometimes high ticket has to mean $50. Mm-hmm. We're just trying very hard not to do the $15, $20 stuff. Just the common stuff. And we still have so much of that in here.
It is. And so, just what's working, trying to find higher dollar items to list. I've been trying to make sure I'm not listing the $10, $15 items. I've been really working good on making sure that they're $20 or above. Yep. There are stuff that we do have listed that sold over the weekend that's less than $20. But it is just getting out of here. So what are my plans? I think today, going forward, it's just to pare down the store some to get...
It feels like you're talking a lot.
Shut up. I'm talking about good stuff. I'm just kidding.
I think my plan is to keep doing what we're doing. Like with the high ticket stuff, the way we're sourcing seems to... It's so nice to come home with 4 or 5 things in the car and know that there's $1,000 in the back seat and not a carload that you're going to have to spend 4 days sorting for the same amount. Like, it's so much nicer.
But one of the main things that I'm going to try and focus on in the next couple days, and I am going to try and focus on it, is I have a crap ton of Barbies that have not sold. I have a crap ton of kids' toys that need to just get lotted up and sold as a lot so I can have my space back.
Well, not only moving them in terms of moving them, but that is another way to do high ticket sales. You don't have
lot your stuff up.
Yeah, take the low dollar items and lot up similar items for a higher dollar.
Yep.
And you could get to the high ticket sales just by lotting up the low ticket items. So it's not like we won't buy the low ticket items.
No.
We still would.
But
it's just the way we list may be different.
Yep, we have found that when selling some of the Barbies, like we had a whole bunch of Barbies that were worth like $4 or $5, whatever. So what we did with them was a majority of them were nude. Yep. So that's a whole different price point when you're looking at selling those.
No accessories or clothes or anything.
No,
so
they were just nude. We've done two things. We've lotted them up and sold them. I think I listed them for $29 for 20 Barbies.
And those sold every time.
They did. We listed 4 lots and they were gone. One of them, I took a $25 offer on. I'm still making $1 a Barbie, a little over $1 a Barbie, which I'm pretty sure most of them I didn't spend that much on.
No, I think all in all, if we put all our Barbies together, we probably have 10 cents a Barbie in most of them.
Yeah, because after that,
I mean,
400,
some we paid up for a little bit, and most of them we paid almost nothing for.
And I'm not going to get rid of them all. Like, I'm not going to lot them up all that way. I'm going to keep my ones that I'm pretty sure will sell. They might just be a little bit long tail.
Just the lower end ones that aren't worth the effort of building the listing.
Yeah, because I was going through, I go through and send out offers once a day, once every 2 to 3 days, whatever it happens to be when I happen to look at it. And so some of the Barbies I was sending out offers on this morning was like $9.99 is what it's listed for.
Yeah.
And I'm sending out offers.
Hard to do a discount on that.
Oh, I was sending out offers for $5.99 just to get them gone. Yeah. But that is my goal this afternoon, is to go through and find my Barbies and lot them up.
My goal is just to get through packing, because one of the items today is going to really suck.
It is. So that's my plans. But we can talk about what else sold.
All right, let's talk about what else sold.
This is, if I could find these again, I would find them. I would buy them in a heartbeat. I would probably pay $50 for them.
Oh, we got more of those Trident knives.
Those are the last one. I have none left.
There are 4 here?
There are 4 steak knives. So those are
Wüsthof Trident.
Trident silver. These are a different one. These aren't the ones that we had before, but these are silver 0.5-inch straight steak knives. So they're not even serrated. Nope. They're just straight steak knives. They are discontinued. There are 5 of them. They sold for $45. I took an offer. They were listed for $49, I think. All
right, and last week, the week before on Reseller Therapy, I was parting out our GoPro drone. Last week we skipped it because it was a crazy week. Mm-hmm. But one of the arms here sold, the GoPro arm.
That does say RB on it, right?
It says R something.
R, and then if you turn it, there's the R and there's the B.
They're both backwards then.
I know, because I had them written wrong on there to start off with, so I had to rewrite them.
That's her RB.
This is my RB.
So, anyway, it's got the motor in the arm and the plug and everything. Yep, so that's what's sold. That's
an OEM GoPro Karma drone replacement back right arm and motor. That puts us 100% in the profit. Anything we sell going forward is just gravy.
Gravy on top.
Would I ever buy that again? No.
Probably not the GoPro one. We've had decent luck with drones, but they're kind of a pain in the butt to test. So this one we just decided to part out.
Yeah, well, this one was a whole lot different, though. Like, this one was different because it required an older GoPro.
You already told them that last week.
So, but the first one we had, that one was fun. That one was fun to test because all you do is hook that one up and power it up and it goes. So, that was the last thing we had to talk about, wasn't it?
Yeah, you didn't tell them. Oh, you did tell them what it sold for.
Did I?
I think so.
I don't know if I did, but if I didn't, it sold for $39.99. I don't think I did, but now I did.
All right, so this weekend, like we said, it was the 4th of July weekend. We also had some friends in town from Tennessee, some other resellers.
So
Rebellious Roads Resell was
Josh
in
and
town.
Tara. But I got to do a real quick shout out. Shout out to Brayley and Dean.
Love hurts, love shines.
Yep. And while you guys have no idea what she's talking about, we do, and it's making us laugh inside.
But yes, I was so excited. Like, they got here Thursday night while I was recording. But then we made plans for Friday. They actually came and hung out with my crazy, wacky family on 4th of July as something to do. And then we went, what did we? Oh,
well, Tara's team actually won the beanbag tournament. So congrats to Tara.
She did. She's going to buy a set and go home and practice. What else did we do Friday night?
I don't even, it's all a blur at this point.
I think they just came and hung out because we had brats, remember? They just came and hung out.
Yep.
So we just came and hung out, and I got bored listening to Cory and Tara talk because they were blah, 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 about AI.
Tara's excited about ChatGPT too, so we got to have a good discussion about that.
Josh and I were just sitting over there off in La La Land. So
some people just don't know what's good. All right, so we did get to go sourcing a few times with them while they were down here. For about 2 days, we did some sourcing with them, and it was kind of fun to source with them, partially because it's always fun to source with other resellers, even when they source exactly the stuff you do.
Yep.
But with Tara and Josh, they do mostly clothes. We do mostly high-end
hard goods.
So sourcing together was nice because we were actually finding each other's stuff.
We were. I was holding up saying, yo!
So it was a lot of fun to source with them while they were down here.
Yes.
There wasn't a lot of sourcing
No.
to do because it was 4th of July weekend. So it was kind of a blah weekend for sourcing, but we did get to go sourcing for 2 days and that was fun.
Yep. And another bonus, I guess it's a bonus for both us and them, was if everybody remembers, we ended up getting like bags and bags. I think we have 15, 20 bags
The
of
free
clothes
storage unit we did.
from our free storage unit. And we took some of the stuff out of it that we wanted to sell, like a lot of the suit jackets and that type of stuff that I enjoy selling. And so they came over and they spent all night Friday
long
night.
time.
No, all night Saturday night. Sunday night, whatever day it was. They took 5 bags of stuff home with them out of our death pile of clothes.
Yep. So we got to offload a bunch of those bags of clothing to get them out of here so we don't have to deal with them. Yep. Plus, somebody that knows clothing has gone through them now. So we know that whatever's left here needs to just go away, which is perfect for us because there's literally a pickup load of bags left between here and the escape room place. So now we could just get rid of them.
Yep.
So that cleared a big chunk of just space being taken up.
We were watching them we were taking the bags out from under our table back there that has our artwork on it. And we were watching, and Corey's like, oh, look at all that space. We could put this and this and this and this spot down there.
So yeah, that was a lot of fun. We had a great weekend with Josh and Tara and the girls that came down. Shout out again to Braylee and Dean.
Love hurts. Love shines.
Yep, and Raylyn. We weren't supposed to probably
We could
put all
shout
the
out
names out
Raylyn.
there. But we're going to do it anyway because she's
All
been
right.
on she's been on the dollar auction.
Listen,
so.
if you get any stalkers, you just let us know. We'll go get them.
Yeah, but it was super fun. Like, we had a blast. You know, there was a lot of laughs. There was a lot of giggles. It was just so fun. Being around people who are like-minded like you and do what you do makes it awesome.
It's hard to find people like-minded like us because we've lost our minds most of the time.
Yeah.
All right, so what's sold next?
The next one, he can't show you because it's too big to hold up here. It's not that one.
Oh yeah, the next one is that we sold a TV.
We did. So we picked this up. I think we paid $20 for it. It comes with the remote.
Who picked it up?
Well, I showed it to you and you balked about it and you carried it to the car.
Yeah. I didn't want to see her pout. She bought something for me to pack, and that's that TV, and I hate packing
It
those.
is a Panasonic PV whatever model, white, and it was nasty.
It was,
like that
yeah.
thing was nasty. They used it in their shop, I think. So I ended up taking a Magic Clean Eraser and I cleaned it, and it's all pretty white now, whitish gray. But it comes with the remote.
Yep.
Had it listed for $249.99, I think, and I took an offer for $234.99, and it's gone. So don't sleep on.
For $200, I'll pack it, but I'm not happy about it. The problem with those TVs isn't that they're hard to pack. It's just it's like a 16 by 16 square, like a cube. So you just got to find a box that fits in. But they're so heavy that the weight of themselves destroys the box and themselves on the way there.
Yep.
One UPS guy tosses that, and it's not packed like crazy. And just the weight of it hitting the ground destroys the insides of the TVs. So they're fun to pack. They suck.
The one thing we do, I'm not going to say it twice, is we do put arrows and do this side up for a lot of our electronics so that they make sure that they stay the way they're supposed to be so they don't.
We do everything
have
we
issues.
can to make sure it gets there. This one's going to get wrapped and packed in memory foam, and it's going to be packed well. But again, when they weigh 40 pounds and somebody just chucks them off a truck, sometimes stuff happens. So we have had these get destroyed in shipping even when they're extremely well packed.
Yep.
So I don't like picking these up at all. But
I like
again,
the
for
money from
$200, we'll risk it.
We'll risk the biscuit.
We'll risk the biscuit.
Okay, now the thing he has in his hand. These are dried flower, real butterfly, round wood frame
It
taxidermy.
looks weird because there's two of them in there. They're
There
actual
is.
butterflies and dragonflies?
It is butterflies, dragonflies. It's taxidermy. with
Like
flowers.
Bug taxidermy?
Yep.
There it is.
But those, I paid $2 for the set of them, and they sold for $42. That was pretty good. I think it was pretty good.
Who knew there was a market for bug taxidermy?
They
I guess
sell
we'll
good.
have to keep our eyes out. We
If
could
they're
just-
bigger ones, they sell better.
I think we could just go outside and get some stuff.
I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to dry flowers and all that. They're dried flowers.
I'll put them in a jar till they die and dry up and then just sell them. Maybe there's a new niche store coming.
No, there's not. But anyways.
All right, so 4th of July, we said we went sourcing for 2 days. We did, and we actually went to
We went where we don't go.
Yeah, we went where we don't really go. We went to thrift stores, we went to Goodwills and places like that. Like us not being clothing sellers, we pretty much avoid those places like the plague anymore. Like there's it's so hard to find the amount of stuff you spend in there versus what you find for us isn't worth the trip to go there.
Yeah, the last thing we bought from there that we sold from a Goodwill, Savers, thrift store, whatever, was that heart rate monitor that we sold for $200.
Yep.
But other than that, we haven't been to a Goodwill.
And that was actually one they keep in the glass counter up front. Now all the Goodwills have taken all the glass counters out because their good stuff isn't staying in store.
No, they're putting it online at shopgoodwill.com.
Yep. So we did go bounce around to all the Goodwills and we hit a Savers because Josh Tara had never been to a Savers. And while we had to hunt hard, we did find good stuff. Like we found at least one or two things at every place we went, I think.
And I had to give a shout out. Tara found a pair of Crocs shoes.
Yeah, it's a really nice pair of Crocs sandals.
She paid up. She paid $10.99 for them, I think. But they sell for over $100. Like, who's paying $100 for rubber shoes?
Yeah, I think they pulled out quite a few.
They did.
Good items. They liked the Goodwills and Savers here because it seems like they did pretty good.
The prices were way more competitive or lower.
Yep.
Then that's what they kept telling us all the time was, your guys' prices are so good here for clothing and stuff.
Which was awesome. And then we pulled out a few things. We got two of the big, the big like barred push door things where you kind of just push on it and it opens the steel doors. We found two of those new in box. They sell for about $150 to $200 a piece.
Yep, or more. I just haven't found the exact model yet.
And they had a decent sell-through rate. We found two of those for $50 a piece. So we picked those up. What else? We picked up a rainbow vacuum at a garage sale.
We also picked up, so my biggest score this weekend, it actually was clothing.
Ick.
But it's something I like. That's right. That's because I was so frustrated at Goodwill when I bought it. So I picked up this suit. It is a Hugo Boss suit. There's one listed, one sold. They're both sold for $250, right? I'm thinking I'm going to pay $8 for this suit. I pull the jacket off the clothes hanger to give to the employee. I pull the pants off. She pulls the pants out. There's a tag on the pants too, so they price stuff separately, but they put it on the same tag. Or on the same hanger.
Teresa got all worked up over that. She came out to the car huffing and puffing that they charged her both prices. But they were marked. You just couldn't see it.
$15 into $250.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good sale. So
we did also, just for the experience of it, we took Tara and Josh to our local hoarder antique shop, that's always an experience every time. And we did hunt really hard in there. We always hunt really hard in there.
Yep.
I don't think we've ever really bought anything from there. I've tried so many times.
I bought watches.
Yep. I have tried to buy things out of there so many times. And you come in the door and it's the same thing every single time we've ever been in there. When you come in the door, they tell you everything's 30% off.
Only if you pay by cash or check. If you pay by credit card, it's 25%.
But it's always 30% off. It's never everything's 30% off because it's like 180% over eBay price. So
Cory did try and negotiate for some of the things for his niche store, and they were very adamant that they can get eBay prices in
Not eBay prices. They were charging like double. Well, I had just bought 3 lots of these things off of eBay
for a little over $1 a piece.
Yeah, for a little over $1 a piece, and the lowest they were cutting her off at $18 a piece. I was like, "What are you talking about? 18 a piece?" And then they were offended that I was showing them that no, that's not a realistic market. Like, work with me. I'll pay up a little for them, but you can't sell them at that. So it was that's the same conversation every time we go in there. Like, they're very married to their stuff, and part of their claim to fame is we have.
You got to start with the first one.
It was a million items in the store. Buy them all for $1 a piece. You could have the whole store. Then the last time we went in, it was 2 million items in there, and you could have them all for $1 a piece. And this time we went in there, we got 4 million items in the store. I'm thinking, well, we know why.
Well, Tara and I had the conversation of, when they die, because, it's inevitable. They're going to die.
Somebody's just going to have to throw a match on
They just either need to throw a match or say, everything in here is $1 a piece, because you'd be rich. That's $4 million if you sold it all. Well, they ain't got $4 million item in. No, his family or whoever gets it.
Oh, they wouldn't sell a quarter of it for $1 a piece.
But the funniest piece was, Cory was getting warm, and it was warm in there.
It was very hot. I went to the car.
He went to the car. So Tara and Josh and I stayed in there, and we happened to walk back by this one area, and there was a vintage Walmart vest, the fancy blue ones, and it had flare on it.
It had flare.
It had flare. So Tara and I were super interested. I put it on to try it on so Tara could take a picture, but she tried to Google Lens me. You can't find me on Google Lens. So
Well, Google Lens isn't very big.
I know.
Or isn't very good because we're on.
What did you just say?
I didn't mean big. I meant it's not very good because you're online.
You guys heard that.
I'm leaving.
Okay, so anyways, to finish the story real quick, we were making bets on how much he was going to ask for this Walmart vest. We all bet he's going to ask $30. So I recorded Tara going up there to ask him, and he's like, yeah, that's $35 for the vest only. The flare sells separately. And then you hear his wife in the background getting after him. And he's like, never mind, it's $35 for the whole vest and flare. And we're like, yeah, no. So it was outside of the price range. The vest sells for like $30 alone. So it's not like they'd have made money. Some of the flare was from the 90s, but it wasn't worth it.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's just one of those situations. Like, hoarders become hoarders because they don't like to get rid of their stuff. They like their stuff. And it's kind of like, that's just kind of the way that shop is. But it is, I will say, he's got a great collection of stuff. He's got a lot of cool stuff in there.
He's married to it, though.
He's very much married to it. So
Yeah.
we never have been able to really pull anything out of there.
Yep.
He's way more interested in buying and collecting than actually selling, which
No
is
deals.
his prerogative. That's
No
fine.
deals. No deals.
No deals. All
Okay.
right, what's sold next?
We sold a Coach purse. Oh my gosh, I'm in seventh heaven that I sold another one. So this is a Coach Eddie teal blue polished pebble leather large shoulder bag. I did
There
put
it
Reed
is.
in there because there's
Reed?
some. Yeah, I put Reed in my title. See the corners of it on the bottom? They have some scuffs.
A little bit.
And there's a couple of marks.
Like, they're not.
No, it's not
almost
horrible. But there's a mark on the front of it.
This little tiny.
Yep, and then there's some stuff on the inside of it. So I just want to make sure if you're paying up for it, I want to make sure you know what you're getting.
It's in really good shape.
It has the Coach tag still, but that one, I paid $50 for it, but it sold for $115, $114.99. Sorry.
All right, then we got some trains. Are these some of the ones you worked on?
That's my doctor.
Okay. Teresa, I came out in the shop one day and Teresa's out here and she's got a train
train right
engine
there.
torn apart in like 4 pieces.
With my solder
With the
gun.
solder gun out, and she's just working on trains. That's part of this lot here. She got everything working.
I did. So this is a 2006 Thomas Trackmaster Duncan. I don't know what that means. Duncan. Oh, this. No, that's not the one. That's a different one. That's a different one. Sorry. This is a 2006 Thomas Duncan Does It All toy motorized. So that's not the one I tore apart. The one I tore apart was Christmas. But that come from our Thomas lot that we bought when we drove all the way to T to go get it that one time. But that sold for $44.99. I was so excited thinking that was the one I fixed.
Boo.
It was not.
All right, I think that's it. We do have a lot of packing today, and it's getting warm in here, so I'm looking forward to turning the AC back on.
Yep.
And we're going to get to it. We'll see you guys next time.
Hasta la vista, baby.